Cutting lines and taking names, people. Cutting lines and taking names. Instead of being under the bus and trying to find the lines, I'm gonna take behind this corner are the lines that go up to the AC unit. So I'm actually gonna take off all this protecting metal and see what I got. Cut it most likely because they should be empty of Freon. Send that through the floor, and then I can see which lines are my AC unit lines and which lines are my heating lines, because I really don't want to cut my heater lines, because that I do not want to do. Just to give you a better picture, here is where the lines are protected behind. These lines then go back here because this points out, and then we have the AC unit, and those lines probably keep continuing and go to the heater. So you have the heater lines and the AC lines. So I have to be very specific with what lines I take and disconnect. All my screws are out. I just have a flathead screwdriver. Ooh, I didn't think that would be. Look how big she is. That is fun stuff. Naked. Now, which line do you think goes to the heater? And which line do you think goes to the AC unit? Oh, this is gonna be fun stuff. So this is already broken, and when I bought it, he asked me if I wanted that to get replaced. But I said I'm taking it all out, so don't even bother. I'm gonna take out these screws just to take out the filter, so then I can see which piping goes into it, because I obviously can't pick this up with the AC unit in my way. So there's a line of screws that go all the way around this plastic piece. So I'm just gonna take all of them out. That one out. What? Got it. Cool beans. A naked AC unit. Look at her. Pretty stuff. Slice this one. I need a sharper blade, bro. Yeah. Wow, I really need to change this blade. Okay, there she is. I cut her right off. And this, so we have this orange cord right there. You can see it in the middle. That comes up in the back and comes over, and then it has all these wires inside of it. So I'm gonna go through and cut all of these, I suppose. Yeah, let's do that, I think. Just remove this cover that's on the other side of that. This is just a water overflow drip, or I believe that's all it is. It doesn't even, I don't even think it goes down very far, truthfully, so I don't think it really matters. So I can just take that out as well. So I'm gonna take apart this nicely. I did take a picture of it just in case anything funky goes on, or if I ever want to put it back in. Then I'm not just cutting wires, because just take pictures of things, people, especially wire stuff. So I cut all my lines in the bus, and now you just yank like hell. This is my air hose right here, and then this is the two hoses I cut. So this one goes all the way to the front, this one goes right here. I'm gonna yank on my air hose first. It doesn't feel comfortable. Yeah, super good stuff. Cutting lines and taking names, people. Cutting lines and taking names. I don't know what that means. Take it with a grain of salt. So I cut this line just with my knifey knife, even though it's dull as sugar. I'm gonna cut that one. They put all these freaking ties, like 7 billion of them. They probably, their whole budget's probably just these zip ties. And then, yeah. Okay, that's not going anywhere. Musical by yours truly, Jade. I'm gonna have to get up in the bus again. And yank it. And then she comes out. Nailed it. Oh, that one's snug as a bug. Wow, she ain't going nowhere. Shoot for the big girl. Oh my God. And truth be told, I have a whole nother AC unit to do after this. This bus has two Oh, there she is. Good morning. Hi, beautiful. Oh my. This is why you don't stay clean when you're under the bus. Oh, there she is. Good morning. Those go all the way to the front of the bus. And you. Cool beans. Okay. This one's pretty much disconnected. So I just got everything disconnected from the two AC brains or the fans. I'm back in the bus. Now I'm gonna disconnect this AC unit from the inside because then all of my hoses and my connections should be accessible from underneath. And then we're gonna disconnect it from the engine and I should be able to get all that wiring. I believe it's connected to my battery as well. So I gotta figure out which cords those are, and then hopefully the bus starts afterwards. Second AC unit, again, just take out all these little screws on the sides to expose the hoses. I have no idea what's in that box. And then I'm gonna expose all this, disconnect all the wiring. I may actually not take, no, I'm gonna take that off. I'm gonna take that off. And then yeah, and do the same thing that we did back there. I hate little stuff like this. Just shove it in and flick it off. Boom. Boom. So if your bus has one of these, it has 7 billion freaking little screws in it. And that's all that's inside. So I don't know why they did such a big box. I was a little concerned for a hot sec, and now my concerns were no big deal. So again, cut the wires at the top, pull them down, get them down to the ground, and then we're gonna follow them up to the engine, cut them from the engine, and then we're looking pretty good here, folks. So now that I've got all the hoses and wires and everything disconnected from up top, pull, baby, pull, just like last time. So these are the brains to the AC unit. I'm gonna cut these hoses. Eventually I'll take it out, but I also may leave them in case for some reason someone ever wants to put them back in. They're kind of a pain to take out, so it all just kind of depends on where I have time and what I want to do. I'm also going to not take these wires totally out. I'm going to have them sit underneath. I'm going to cap them in case, again, someone ever wants to put a AC unit that hooks up to the bus's engine in here. Instead of totally screwing up the engine, cutting a wrong wire, it just makes more sense. Cap it, make it safe under the bus, harness it still under the bus, so it's not bouncing around or anything. Cap it real good, electrical tape it so it's safe. Again, safety. But then in case the future someone's like, I want the AC unit back in the bus, they can hook it up to the engine and call it a day. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Do I recommend doing it? I don't know. I'm not a mechanic, and maybe a mechanic will be like, dude, that's not how you do that. If that happens, I'll go back in and disconnect it. But for right now, so I don't totally screw up my engine and I totally don't mess up the bus's brain, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not a mechanic. I wish I was, but I'm not. So yeah, cool. To cut these, I've literally just been using my knife. It works perfectly, gets the job done. So here we go. Anytime you are cutting these hoses, I do recommend you at least stab it once to make sure all the Freon is out. I was under and I stabbed one of my hoses and I could actually hear just a little bit of gas come out. We did have it properly removed, but I guess a little was left behind. I let it drain out. It was probably like 2 seconds worth, but yeah, that's all I recommend. Stab, listen, then cut her head off. So as you see me struggling in the video, I'm just cutting these hoses with my very dull knife. I recommend changing your blade before you do any of this, but you know, that's just me. I like a good struggle. I'm not going to talk over this whole clip. I'm just going to clip it down. All right, cool. Happy we had this chat and happy you could watch me struggle. Bye. So all these are cut. Bada bing, bada boom. And there's no Freon in this. Take your Freon out before you even start this process. I'll say it once, say it again, say it a billion times. That stuff is not good for our environment. Well, that was fun, I suppose. So all of the wiring and tubing and everything is pulled out from under the bus. I am absolutely disgusting. I've got crap in my eye. What an adventure. Now let's see if Charlie still starts. One thing I did want to show, I'm not going to take the cover off again. I already did, and I forgot to hit it with the camera, but this is all the AC electrical. I'm not going to mess with this. So I watched this clip over, and it is literally just me rambling on. So I'm going to re-record over me rambling. Here we go. Buckle up, everybody. If you go through your school bus because you watched other people's videos and they removed a bunch of wiring and you just went and did it and now your school bus isn't going to start, don't look at me because I told you, I'm telling you, don't do it. School buses have a lot of weird safety feature thingies, and the last thing you want to do is trip one of those safety features thingies, and then you got to deal with it. Don't do that. So, for me, I am literally leaving my AC electrical alone. I could possibly run a solar charger off of this AC wiring, so that's what I'll probably plan to do in the future of the build. So yeah, that's my hint of advice. Do not touch electrical just because someone on the internet tells you to. Also, you don't have to listen to me at all. I don't know what I'm talking about. You don't even know me as a person. But really, don't touch your freaking electrical. It's not worth it, people. It's not worth it. I'm actually not going to start the bus. It's pretty cold today, and I should have plugged Charlie in the beginning. But it is what it is. So we'll start him next time we're out here, and that'll be in the next video. So, cool. Peace.